All right, ATL sports fans, welcome, everyone. Today, I have a litany of superstars with me today. Those of you
Lit.
in the podcast community, you know these folks need no introduction. We got Smitty, Mr. 13.6K, about to be 14K. We got Chris, A1 Forever Sports More, who's on everybody's show, everybody's
Pimping.
doing stuff. We got Mr. C Dub from the Beard Gang in the building, and yours,
Yeet.
T Will. And today we are talking Braves, we are talking Hawks, we are talking Falcons. It's a
Dang.
smorgasbord of sports for everyone. But you know how we do it on For My ATL Sports One. We're gonna cue the music and then we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to For My ATL Sports One, the number four, My ATL Sports One on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, I got some celebs in the house with me today, and we are talking everything ATL Sports. We got Smitty 13K, we got Chris A1 Tipmore, we got C Dub in the house. Gentlemen, how y'all
Yeet.
Hey man, what it do, man? I know, right? See, Doug. Hey man, happy to be on the panel, man. Talking these sports once again. Atlanta sports, some of the best sports out there. Don't be fooled by what others say.
Let's get it rolling, man. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling, man. Y'all know how I do it.
all
Yep.
right?
Happy Halloween. Make sure
Oh
y'all
yeah,
doing your
happy
trick.
Halloween.
And by
Halloween.
the way, if you're a weird little jerk that wants to put razor blades into candy, y'all need to stop because that's an abuse of candy. I tell you what, coming
That's
from a fat man, you don't do that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
That's
that's
wrong.
a that's attempted murder.
It is. How about you put razor blades in your own candy if you want to do that? You know,
Right, chew on it yourself.
who's on that.
that's not necessary. But all
Exactly.
right, guys. So in the news today, the Braves made a trade. They traded Mr. Jorge Soler to the Los Angeles Angels for, I believe, Griffin Canning. I think he was a starting pitcher for them last year. He has an ERA of 5 point whatever. Guys, to me, this looks like a salary dump. Looks like, I think Perry Manassian is the GM for the Angels, and looks like Alex called him up and said, hey, I need somebody to take Jorge. What can you give me? Griffin Canning, 5.1 ERA, throws more home runs than we can hit in that miracle season. Sure, no problem. You got it. Again, I don't know
Yeah,
what the message they saw in Griffin. And hey, you know what? If Griffin comes on and he's great, awesome, great. But this feels like we needed to get rid of Jorge so we could actually go and sign somebody else. I'll throw it out to the panel. Smitty, how you feeling about this move, man? Let's talk about it.
I kind of expected it honestly, because that big price tag, a hefty price tag he got remaining on that contract. Me and Chris talked about it earlier. He would be a great piece to the bottom part of the lineup, because of what he brings, speed wise and power wise. He's a great late inning guy, and you just had to see it coming because one, like I said, the price. Two, we need pitching, and the guy that we got today, I guess he's going to be a middle relief guy. But again, that's the price you pay for overpaying everybody else when you don't have the key parts to get that pitching together. You got to think about Max Fried may not come back. That could be money that you bring back, but on the flip side of that, you're going to get somebody that can replace Fried and give you what 15 wins a year, it's gonna be tough to see because again, Spencer Strider, he's another one coming back from the injury. So and he may not even be ready for training camp.
That's a good point.
So
That's a
we
good
will
point.
see. So pitching is definitely something that the Braves will actually have to keep looking at. I expect them to sign at least 3 to 4 more pitchers going into spring training because again, pitching was our downfall and it's looking kind of tough in that bullpen. So I kind of expected this kind of move.
Well,
See that,
I ain't gonna.
yeah, Chris, how you feeling about it? Sorry about
Oh
that, man.
shoot, no, it's all good, man. To me, again, like I had told you, T. Will, Soler had too much money on that contract,
Yeah,
and honestly, you look at it. When I look at it, it's like, okay, Soler or Ozuna, which one you want? Because both of those guys play DH. I know you can put what Soler out there in the left field, but not everybody likes that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I feel like the Braves didn't like it enough to keep that contract around. So you definitely got to get off of it. You call the Angels up, so you got some friends out there, and you able to make this trade. Now, this guy is definitely a reliever in my book, but we'll see how he operates in the Braves system. We brought guys in here before, and it's like, so they're able to navigate through the Braves and able to do something, get some good production out of them. But this one is a little bit I know it's not a starting move. I that's how I feel right now. It's not a starting move. Like he's not going to be a starter for the Atlanta Braves. It's just an extra piece to go to your bullpen and everything to try to help, keep it at that pitching as a strength. The Braves were leading the ERA and pitching. That was one of their strong suits. Of just the bats wasn't consistent. They wasn't waking up and they wasn't keeping us in the games and giving our pitching enough runs sometimes. Well, most times. So again, going back to it, it's just a move that the Braves had to get off of that contract. We're going to see what other moves are happening. I know people are hoping that Max Fried get re-signed. I'm one of them, but it's just highly unlikely. Just from unless they're going to change the whole philosophy, unless everything just going to change all of a sudden, how the Braves handle their contracts. I just don't see it. I just don't see Max Fried here, and I feel like you're getting extra arms so you can be able to navigate that. If he does not resign as well.
good point. Good point. C-Dub, how you feel about it?
All right. Well, first of all, if you asked me if this was like during the time Soler helped us win the World Series, I would be a little bit upset. Now you're asking me, I'm like, bye. I mean, I'm like homeboy from Tombstone. Bye. It's like, Jesus, someone die here or something? I mean,
Yeah, right.
Let's keep it at 100. The Braves kind of screwed themselves, especially with all the injuries that happened. Look, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You pay $20 million a year to Charlie Morton, who, let's just be honest, my dad, who's 70, probably could pitch better than Charlie. All right.
Yeah, Charlie done.
Yeah, Charlie way been done. All right. And my dad still has that knuckleball. So I'm gonna tell you, that thing will scare the bejesus out of you.
Oh, wow.
So the New York Mets wanted him and they should have had him this year. But anyway. But no, for real though. Personally, I just think when I think about it's like a move that you had to do because the outfield getting crowded, but also Ronald Acuna should be coming back. Michael Harris should be coming back. Who's going to be that left fielder? Like, who is the guy that we're going to count on to be in that left fielder?
That's a good
my thing. And my thing is this: a lot of the ball players on this team got fat cat syndrome because they all got paid. The ones that got paid, at least, you got that. You got that extension. You got that money. You're here. Well, those were the guys that were missing most of the time, and
that's true.
Those were the guys that weren't stepping up when we needed someone to. And I'm talking about Matt Olson. I'm talking about,
Austin Riley.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I was going to bring him up. It's like I look at Alex Anthopoulos and I'm going, I like what he did, but I still will never understand why you didn't try to extend Max Fried. And I think that's going to be a thing that will always haunt this team for a little bit. And here's the thing. whether you like it or not, don't like it, you got to pay for pitching regardless.
Yep.
Gotta pay to play, man. Sometimes.
Yeah, and this team, you have everything you want, with this team. And what are you going to do? Not get pitching? You've got to. Brian Snicker cannot keep doing miracles. I mean, I thought this was probably his best coaching job he did, just getting into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I give him that.
Dub, you got to look at the Dodgers too, man. If you look at the World Series, man, the Dodgers, they just loaded. And to compete with a team like that, you definitely got to have at least 2 to 3 shutdown pitches because it's a 3-man rotation in the playoffs. Those guys that's on the back end of the rotation, they switch to the bullpen in the playoffs because you always have that bullpen game. So you got to think, what can I do to offset Mookie Betts? What can I do to offset Freddie Freeman? And you saw what they did in this playoff run. Imagine what they're going to do next year when they fully gel. It's going to be everybody on the same team for a whole year because man,
and as long as injuries don't happen too.
And look, and then you used to be scared of Clayton Kershaw, but he's not the problem anymore.
No,
if they put up runs, he give you 5 innings. That's a win.
Mm-hmm. So, and he wasn't even the guy in the playoffs that people were scared of. They just beat the ever living Jesus out of the ball. My thing is this: I'm with you about the Dodgers, and my thing was even coming into the playoffs. If you're gonna compete, what do you got to do? You got to get pitching. And so I understand. It's like you got to do it. And everyone's like, well, we just didn't want to pay the price. Well, sorry. That's what the cost of doing business in China. If you want the tea, you better pay for it.
Facts.
We got Terry back.
No, he's still going, but we can keep it going.
We'll keep going.
No, that's true. No, but that's definitely.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that. My daughter is the Joker for she's giving out candy, but she really likes Halloween, so she dressed up as the Joker. So I was tying her tie. I apologize.
Hey, that's what's up, though.
That's what this cauldron's over here for. I'm gonna be giving out the candy too here, so that'll be my job. So
I ain't giving out no candy, but I had my mask today. I had my mask ready.
Hey,
Chris is going to be trying to get them bags of candy. That's what he's trying to do.
Nah, Chris,
man. Nah, man. I can't take from the kids, man. That's not my type of character, man.
Hey, Trick love the kids, man. Trick love the kids. No, so in all seriousness, guys, C-Dub, you brought up something, and that's left field. Jared Kelenic, I would say, underperformed or underwhelmed last year.
Yeah,
that Ramon Laureano for left field. I would
say maybe Ramon,
but I don't. When Ronnie comes back next year, you don't like to Smitty's point about Strider. You don't know that he's going to be ready for the beginning of the year. You don't know that, and even if he's going to need some days off. So, guys, I'm thinking, you traded Soler, but you still may need another left fielder, right?
Right.
And I understand why the trade. I don't necessarily like it because I really like Soler and I like keeping him around because I feel like Ronnie's not going to be able to play 162 next year. This is his second ACL on the other knee. Excuse me, second ACL in 3-4 years.
He will
be playing every day. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, hold on. He got that money. He'll be playing DH.
Well, I mean,
he's gonna be playing something.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll play on DH if he can.
And that's another thing you gotta think about. If he's playing DH, where the heck is Ozuna?
Well, is Ozuna's deal up? That's the other question. Is Ozuna's deal up?
Ozuna's not going anywhere. Ozuna's not going anywhere.
Hell, then we're gonna have a bad year with Ozuna because he's only good for one good year and then he's out. So we just saw it.
No, he's been good the last 2 years, but
I ain't gonna lie, he's been like one of the better hitters in baseball really since last year.
Right, he carried us this year. But
he got right like midway through the season last year, and I did see like some stats to where just like he did pick it up. Because at one point in time we was talking about, boy, get Ozuna out of here. I remember it because I was one of them. I was like, bro, this man is doing nothing, and then next thing you know, it just picked up for him. Next thing you know, he's hitting over 30 home runs, and then this year he
He
had
ain't
great
going to
production too.
hold on. He ain't going to that, to the entertainment clubs, I guess, and not going, hello, I am Ozuna.
Yeah, bro.
Hello, I am Ozuna.
Not hello, I'm Ozuna.
Oh wow. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Ozuna from the Braves.
You
Ozuna
already
from the
know it's
Braves.
trouble when C double's on, man. You know that.
get him being messy. All right, so guys, let's talk Hawks.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Started out 2-0,
Yeah.
and
Right.
we've now lost 3 straight. We do have the injuries that are piling up.
Yeet.
But I mean, how do we get out of this? You know what I mean? Like, what I mean, what do we need to do? It's like watching the same game over and over again. We get a lead, it's the second half. We got a lead by a couple of points, maybe mid third quarter, and then the
Mhm.
opposing team, which the past 2 times has been Washington. Are you kidding?
I know.
They go on this monstrous run, and all of a sudden we forget to play defense, and we can't stop anybody. So,
No.
Dub, I would say of all of the guests on the panel, myself included, you are the most hawkiest person. I follow, but you are a baller and a hawk. What up with the Hawks? A1, what up? What up? What's going on? Talk to me.
Shoot, man, to be honest with you, it's a few different things. First of all, you started off the season unhealthy again. You didn't have your backup point guard. So that
Yep.
already shifted things on what you want to do. Now Veek is your point guard. And even though Veek is not bad with handling the ball, he's just not a point guard, okay? He's just not. He can make plays, but he's not a playmaker. There's a difference. Um, with him, so that's one thing you had going on. Okay, you have one game. Next thing you know, what happens? Bogey goes down. And he was already coming into that game, is what we found out later on, that he was already injured with the hamstring anyway. So then next thing you know, he had a procedure done. He's got to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. And in sports, I don't care what team the player is on. Reevaluate is just such a scary word to me in sports,
Yeah.
because it's not like you're coming back. You're being reevaluated on when you can come back. So that's another thing I'm afraid about. And we have 3 players in Bogey, Buffkin, and Hunter that all are going to be Hunter and Veet, who has the right abductor now because he went down with an injury. And it's like every game somebody is going down. So it's like, are we cursed? Like, my goodness. So my thing is, regardless, fellas, you're not going to be able to operate any type of real offense. You're not going to be able to get any kind of gelling together when you got players missing. First of all, this Hawks team already have to learn how to win together and play together as a team on both sides of the floor, especially defensively. We've seen potential. We've seen hopes. They looking better on defense than I would say last year, yes. But at the same time, you have injuries and you don't have your full roster. That's going to hurt any coach. That's going to hurt any team. Again, you don't have that chemistry, something that's very underrated in sports. You got to have it. You got to be able to win together, learn how to win together. Right now, the Hawks are behind the 8 ball. And it's just so troubling because you want them to win these games against the Washington Wizards. Nobody wants to lose to the Washington Wizards. And right now in the standings, they're ahead of the Hawks now.
Yeah.
So it's just like you never want to lose to them, but it's like, what do you have? Like Trey, you got JJ, but I hate to do it, but let's give Washington some credit. They got some players that's gonna be players for them. What's my man name? Bubale or whatever. Like he's gonna be fine. He dropped 27 last night. I didn't even know he had that in him, but I learned yesterday that he had that in him. He's gonna be a good player for them. Carrington, he did some things in summer league, and like he can shoot the ball. Like especially if he's getting an open shot, he can shoot the ball. Jordan Poole, I'm not big on him, but he can put the ball in the basket. He's streaky, not like Cam Thomas streaky, but I feel like once he gets hot, you know what I'm saying, like he'll knock down shots, and things like that. Just Kyle Kuzma, Crispic, one of the better 3-point shooters in the league, just like my man Bryce had said. So you had a lot of things bad, and then you had just like Raymond Collins saying Okonwu. Okonwu had like one of the worst games I've seen him play in a while, having as many minutes as he did. He had almost 25 minutes and gave you pretty much nothing. So like that can't happen. Trey Young bounced back. JJ had a great game, 21 and 11. But again, the others, you didn't, so I mean, Ricochet also had a great game too, 17. But it's just like your others. You didn't have Dyson Daniels in this game, your point of attack defender, your best defender, and the guy who has the most deflections in the NBA right now by a slight margin.
Was
So
Dyson hurt?
yes, Dyson is hurt as well.
Damn.
So that's what I'm saying. Yes, Dyson did not play last night. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Injury
the
after
Hawks-
injury. Like I
yeah,
said,
the Hawks
every
cursed.
game,
The Hawks cursed.
somebody has went down. So it's a tough sled. And you got CC, you got Okonwu, and Okonwu can't give you those type of games he gave you last night. We can't afford that. We need game 1, game 2 Okonwu. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that last night because that's going to be tough sledding. CC, he gave you like what I think like 6. Well, I can't even remember. I think it was like 11 points and maybe 5 rebounds, 6 rebounds. You can't get that out of him. And then you got Valanciunas, who was just out there just balling. And I was wondering why, like Clint wasn't on the floor with Valanciunas, considering the fact that they've battled so much in their careers. I would, keep rolling Clint out there. But I guess you want to give Okonwu more, but it's like we didn't get nothing from Onyeka. We just didn't get nothing from him. We can't have that. But as I land my plane, man, that's basically where I'm at with the Hawks. If they were healthy and they were losing like this, I'd be all over them. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I can't jump down their throat too bad because they're dealing with injuries. And you just hate it because they're losing these games in the beginning of the season. And if you look forward at what we got, our next 10 to 15 games, it's getting tough, y'all, already.
Yeah, I just want to say pause to that jump down the throat comment. But anyway, Chris, let's
Good Lord.
Let me.
This is America.
Let me ask you this, right? Smitty, myself, UC-Dub, we were discussing the potential of a Giannis trade to the Hawks. Is this a rumor? Is this somebody's is there traction to this? Smitty, you want to talk about?
I don't think it's traction.
We're gonna make some.
I just like to keep shit going, man, because that's what I do.
We're gonna make some traction today, baby. We're gonna make some traction today.
As I think about it and sit back and think about it, I'm keeping honest with y'all 100%. This is the type move that the Hawks need to make to turn this franchise around. Yeah, Giannis is 30 years old, damn near, but you won't get the best out of Trae Young unless he gets another superstar next to him. And what do I always tell y'all? A big man is a point guard's best friend. So why not go get the best player in the NBA if you can? Yeah, I know you might have to give up a lot of draft picks and a couple of players, but hell, so you got to give up something to pay something. We just talked about baseball a couple of minutes ago. Dodgers gave up a lot. They put that team together. They paid the money, and they benefited from it. You saw it with the Rams in the NFL. They traded for superstar players and won the Super Bowl. So now it's time for one of these Atlanta teams to do it, and why not the Hawks? At least the Falcons have been to the Super Bowl twice. The Hawks have never been to the NBA Finals. So it's just time to make that type of move. And like Chris said, he hit the nail on the head. This team has to learn how to play together all over again. How many years have we been saying that,
like 1 or 2?
How many years have we been talking about rebuilding? At least the last 5 years. We made it to the Eastern Conference Final with a bunch of misfits. So you mean to tell me you can't go out and get a superstar player and put him next to a star caliber player in Trae Young, a young Jalen Johnson? That's your big three right there, and you just build around those guys. So look, the first 4 games, first 2 games, they look like a new Hawks team. But as soon as those injuries hit, it was right back to the drawing board again. So now they literally like the Hawks of the last 5 years. So to keep that from happening, got to go get a superstar player. I just hate to say that.
Who do we have to give up?
I'm about to say,
Let's
what's the contract for Giannis again? T. Will.
Everybody on the line except Trey Young. I don't care who it is. Yeah, they can give up one of the cheerleaders. I don't care.
And not one of the cheerleaders too.
They can give
All
up
right,
one of the
done,
cheerleaders for all I care.
done.
Right.
I'm selling everything. How about Tony Wrestler and his kid?
Oh wow. C-Dub,
Well,
give us the landscape on what a trade would look like for Giannis.
Oh God, honestly, here let me just rewind a little bit because I was looking at the stats. You got Bogey out, you got Hunter out, and you got Dyson out. And Dyson is a guy that we all said was a dynamic defender who's now got a defined role. So those are some key guys. You've also had a Conwu out who was, and I want to say he was out the game before when they played.
yeah, load management with that toe.
Oh, I swear. Anyway, so my thing is this: who the heck do the Hawks hire for their health and strength and conditioning? Because those people need to be fired. You can't even do it.
Seems like they hired. Seems like they hired the guy from Chicago Med because everybody's still banged up.
Exactly. It's like, dude, what? No, you need to go get out of here, and we need someone that knows how to actually make sure guys are healthy around here. Let's see.
It's crazy because the Hawks brought in the guy from the 49ers for health and safety and all that stuff like that. They brought him in as well, somebody from football to so to help out with this stuff.
So it's Kyle Shanahan's fault yet again. I knew it. I don't trust anything that rat face looking boy touches. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm that petty.
It's Halloween. Let's pull the mask off Landry and see if it's Kyle under that.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I think if you're going to do a Giannis trade, Clint's got to go into trade. You got to make the money work.
Contract.
Yeah, I think you got to let Clint go, and maybe Bogey or maybe Hunter. And I'm trying to say for the contracts to match, and then if they're going to do draft compensation, you do it. But I just don't know, because my thing is, you may have to let go of maybe Ricochet, or you may have to lose JJ, but it's like, me personally, if you could keep JJ and you could keep Ricochet and Trey and you get Giannis in, I'm intrigued by this. I would be interested, especially, look, the Knicks went and got Karl Towns. All right. I don't think they did anything great with that team, because I think a lot of things they have to work through and get better at. But if they're playing Towns at the 5, they didn't get better. So I think, if they play the center more and have Towns play his natural position, okay, now you could talk to me. So
yeah, I think Mitchell Robinson is still out. That's another reason why they're kind of doing that.
Okay, see, I couldn't remember if he was 100% yet. So yeah, that's the other thing. You got to find out, are these injuries legit injuries, or are we just load managing? And if that's the case, why are we load managing against the Wizards? We need every win possible.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to play Yeko on the back-to-back because he played against OKC, and then they didn't play him against the first game against the Wizards, so they set him out, and then they brought him back in on Wednesday. But shoot, it looked like he was just getting cardio out there. My thing is, we're going to give players their praise when they do right, no matter whether we thought we were going to do right or not. But when they bad, we got to get you too. That's just unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to have, if you're going to be available, you got to be available. We can't have that, and everybody has bad games. And that's what we're going to chalk this up to, just Onyeka having his first bad game, just like Trey just had his first bad game against the Wizards the first go around. But he bounced back. He bounced back yesterday. And everybody like, hey, I just had a bad game. Now, when we play the Kings on Friday, we got to see Onyeka bounce back.
Yeah, and I will say this personally. When I look at this team, It's real simple. If we could get Giannis, do it. I'm kind of with Smitty because you've done everything else, you know, and if you believe this team can make the playoffs with a superstar, then just do it, and believe in your coach, believe in what you do, and let's see what can happen. Get Giannis and his three brothers, and let's see what we can do.
The thing about that trade,
those two, hold on, we can probably get the two brothers like a buy one get one free card. I mean, we got Giannis. You could just throw those two, so he doesn't feel alone.
Yeah, and that's another thing you got to think about too. It's like I feel like another reason why Giannis wants out is because they didn't re-sign Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he had an injury and everything like that, but he still wanted them to be signed. He still wanted them to be signed anyway. And it's like, from the last time I'm not mistaken, he doesn't have a contract with the Bucks. So I'm just like, that's another thing to consider too. He's always seemed to like been able to have his brother around him too. No matter if he don't come off the bench until the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, and out there doing whatever he do, whenever they use him, it's just like he's used to having that. So that's something else to think about as well. I think that trade package. Milwaukee's going to want a haul, y'all. Milwaukee's going to want JJ. They still not going to want DeAndre Hunter. I don't care what y'all say. They just not going to want him. Like, even for the money to make sense, they just not going to want DeAndre Hunter. Bogey, I can see that. I can see Bogey. I can see them wanting JJ, Bogey. Just for the money standpoint, you're probably going to have to give up that Lakers pick, and you're probably going to have to give up your 2028 first round pick.
Done and done. Hey, as so many of my co-hosts have said, F those picks. Talk about Giannis. What are we talking about?
I got a wish sandwich for Giannis. I mean, we can, we give him some bread and he can wish for a sandwich, and we can maybe hope on a dream. But I mean, I'm down for this. Look, I'll go as low as I need to try to negotiate the price here.
All good. Hey, C-Dub, we got to do some housekeeping. So, John Brooks, get rid of Bogey and the bologna sandwich and get rid of Okonwu. Who's the bologna sandwich? Is that Bogey or?
Bogey the bologna sandwich?
Bogey the bologna sandwich.
Yeah, he's calling it Bogey the bologna.
Okay.
John crazy.
I like that. I do like that too. John is hilarious.
Never heard that. All right. Jeffrey Bravo says Giannis to Atlanta will make the Hawks instant contenders. You're right, it will.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, you know who Giannis is. Yeah, he's 29, but you know who that is. We still trying to figure out who JJ is. I mean, we see the potential, and we just know if you're going to trade for Giannis, JJ is definitely gone. But if you can keep Dyson and if you can keep Ricochet, I feel like you still have came away with a victory there. Now,
Chris,
what's up?
I'm honestly tired of potential. Because when we drafted DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish came in that same draft, and we talked about potential with Cam Reddish for 2 years.
And I just knew Cam was going to be that guy. I just knew it. I just seen it. I seen it.
But when you ain't got the right coaches in place, I don't care how much potential somebody has. It's never going to bring the best out of those players. The only coach that I remember the Hawks having, two coaches that the Hawks had that could bring out potential. One was Coach Bud when he was here. Other coach was Lenny Wilkins, and Lenny Wilkins been almost 30 years ago. So just think about that.
Hold on.
Shout out to Lenny too. I think he just had a birthday or something too.
I agree about Lenny, but I have hate in my heart for Lenny because he took away one of my favorite players in all the line. You took away my Dominique, and that's a foul in my heart, man.
I think they were the front office. They didn't want to pay that man.
Oh, trust me.
They didn't want to pay him.
Hold on. The GM, Pete Babcock, had the nerve to come to my school the day after that trade. And they're like, "Hi, is there any questions you want to ask Pete Babcock?" We all had our hands up to ask the one question. Oh, Lord. You thought he looked like he probably felt like he was in the New York media when we were done with him. Oh, we were going for next.
Let's see. Strapped Up says, laughing my ass off, the dude from Chicago Med. That was funny. It's man. You got to go get another superstar. So I say package Bogey, Clint, and Okonwu. Take them. Robert Blackman, I hope that all the injuries the Hawks have to play catch up. And
I ain't gonna lie, we can't trade Clint and Okongwu. It got to be one or the other, because you still need a big man, because all you have left is Larry Nance.
Yeah, that's true. You
have Giannis, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever, Chris. I'm sending him all that.
Chris, like,
I don't
Aaron's
want
like,
Giannis at
everything
the
must
5,
go.
though. I don't want Giannis at the 5, though. I mean, only on small ball, not every game.
How much is Bruno Fernando? We could get him back.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Chris Wiley says we saved a bunch of money letting Soler go. He really wasn't a factor. Got relief. Just need a left field starter. As long as we stay healthy, we'll be a contender for the prize. Yeah, Chris,
I agree with that.
We do need a left field starter. It's just I really felt like, number one, Acuna is not going to start every game next year. That's number one. Number two, to your point, Chris, I don't know that we can depend on Laureano or Jared Kelnick. Kelnick kind of
I think it's gonna be Ramon, bro. I'm more leaning toward Ramon than Jared. But I mean, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I mean, it just Kelnick wasn't like
he was terrible. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't as good as we were hoping though. He
was worse than the year before, right? So I think his average and numbers, he regressed last year, right? And look we got a certain window, guys. We got a certain window. So what I'm looking at is Laureano is good. I don't know that Laureano is going to hit the home runs that you need. And again, if Acuna is in, I'm fine with Laureano. But if Acuna is not there, now you got what? You got an outfield of Harris, Laureano, and Kelnick. That ain't going to fly. So to Chris's point, we do need a left field starter. If we can get a left field starter, I'm okay with the move, right? So, to be seen on that one. Q says not happening.
Pretty sure he's talking about Giannis.
Stop popping my balloons.
Q, come on. Come on, give us some hope,
but you know why, man? It's already in the chat. You know who our ownership is, man. It's so crazy. We don't have a ownership like the Braves do, but that's how we operate too. It's just like we operate kind of cheap. We operate kind of cheap. And the RJ, the plug, shout out to plug Walt and everything, like he mentioned earlier in our group chat. So you gotta remember, guys, this is like a kind of like a group decision, and they kind of focus more so on real estate and land work more so than the actual baseball team.
They let a basketball person make decisions. That's what I say.
That's crazy, guys. I just want to bring up something because Chris Wiley reminded me of something I saw earlier this week, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. So Chris says, hey, we need an edge rusher in Atlanta, not any more wide receivers. Agreed.
Oh, yeah, we're about to get into these Falcons now.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
But let me tell you what I saw. I saw an interview with he was a Tampa Bay rusher, recently retired. What's his name?
Sidney Rice?
No.
He said recently retired.
Great. Golly, what's his name? He's on ESPN sometimes.
Play for the Bucks.
Play for the Bucks, yeah.
Man, what's my name? The dude that they said was pretty much the next one was Warren Sapp after Warren Sapp.
McCoy?
Gerald McCoy.
Yeah,
Gerald McCoy. That's who it was.
Yeah, the dude with glasses.
Let me give you the context, right? Raheem, I think, made a comment this week that we practice great and we get sacks in practice. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something to the effect of we practice great, we get sacks in practice, but it doesn't translate to the field, right?
Right.
And then I saw a clip of Gerald McCoy saying, the moves that I worked on in practice were never for the guy that I'm rushing against in practice because I'm not going to see him on Sunday. He said, what I worked on in practice was moves for the guy that I'm going to see on Sunday. So he would study film. He would look at his habits. He would look at his tendencies, and he would practice those rushes during the week. And I thought to myself, that is brilliant. And maybe we need to share that with the Falcons. What do you guys think about that? Because it's a good point. If let's say it's me, Lord help the Falcons if it's ever me, but let's say it's me and C Dub's the offensive lineman, right? And C Dub is a great pass blocker. He's a terrible run blocker. He's a great pass blocker. The
I
one
will
move
push you.
I know. Just work with me. The one move that I can use against
You
him,
see these hands?
you know what I mean? Yeah. The one move that I can use against C Dub is the swim move. But the guy I'm going against on Sunday is great against the swim move. I got to give him the bull rush. But if I'm working on the swim move all week to get by C Dub, it's really not going to matter because the guy that I'm facing on Sunday, the only way I'm going to get by him is a bull rush.
Something that I haven't been practicing.
Let me tell you something, man. Things like that piss me off. And the reason why they piss me off, when you practicing, you cannot determine what a guy is going to do on Sunday. Practice is made for working on technique. And so many people don't realize things like that. So when you talk about D'Angelo Malone earning his way on the field, he probably has. You just hadn't paid any attention. Like I said before, the guy had over 30 sacks in college. You can't, that's hard on any level, no matter if you're high school, college, or the pros. That is a talent. So you have to find a way to get that guy on the field. You talk about a guy that runs a 4.4. You can't set the edge. A guy with 4.4 speed can. So look, I'm telling you, I think they're messing up like not letting D'Angelo Malone play. If y'all saw him a couple of years ago in Cincinnati when he got a chance, dude put on the highlight tape for that game, and they didn't capitalize off that game. He didn't. I don't think he started another game that season.
No.
So now it's just
he started another game since.
Since right, might as well say since. Yeah, since. So since you don't have a pass rush, put him out there, see what he can do. And what would it hurt?
It wouldn't hurt anything, Smitty. Let me ask you this. Do you guys think this is political? And the reason I say that is there was a guy that my brother Eric Parker and I loved. We loved this guy. And get in for like a game, run it 60 yards. Every time he touched the ball, he scored. The Falcons would never play him. His name was
Antoine Smith?
Antoine Smith.
No.
Yep. The Falcons would never play. I mean, they'd play him when somebody was hurt. But he should have been starting. He should have been in every game. They would never do that. And let me tell you something. Every time this guy touched the ball, bam, he was gone.
It did seem like he was going to the house every time he touched the ball, dude.
Right? Smitty, in your opinion, do you think this is what's going on with D'Angelo, or am I barking up the wrong tree here?
I just think they don't know how to use his talent. I'm gonna just keep it real. And that's coaching. Because if coaching is good, anybody that you put on the field, they're going to find a way to make plays. And that's the thing about coaching. Coaching is always going to put players in a position to succeed. If you can't put him in a position to succeed, that's on you. Because I've seen Bill Belichick put third string, fourth string practice squad players out on the field, still win a playoff game in the Super Bowl. So I mean, there's no excuse. If he's a pass rusher, put him on the field. Let us know what your coaching has done to help this kid. Because, as I've said, Jimmy Lake is not doing a great job calling plays, but you still got Jerry Gray there. So what the hell is he doing?
Oh, yeah.
There's no excuse.
Dog agreed.
Yeah. Well, now they want to go outside because, see, I was supposed to be outside doing the trick-or-treating, but Mama's outside, so that means they're just barking because she's out and they're not with her.
Okay.
And they're not the smartest of dogs, so we have to put it. You know what? It's almost like trading Jimmy Lake for a bag of Doritos. It sounds great.
Oh, come on!
I'm just saying we have a people that are asking questions. April Thomas has asked some good ones about can we trade the Atlanta Hawks owner too? And I mean. Not just that, but
I think we would have did that if we could. I think we would have signed. If they said sign a petition and we'll get you a new owner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then and April said, "What's up, everyone? Can we trade Jimmy Lake for the bag of Doritos ASAP?" I mean, look, I think nacho cheese would do the trick. But anyway, I just gotta say, when it comes to this, because this is kind of crazy. I understand what you're saying, Terry, about training. These guys are probably training and how to beat the offensive line in front of them. But I got to go here. Last I remember, these guys were specialties were defense. Am I not wrong?
You're absolutely correct.
I mean, so my question is this: Are we to be told with a straight face that Jerry Gray has no clue how to coach a defensive line? That Ra has never understood how to get a defensive line to get sacks. That's where I look at it, and it makes me shake my head when I go, this has to be taken care of. And as a coach, or if I'm a coach, if I'm a defense coordinator, I'm going to do what Smitty's suggesting. I'm going at everybody going, let's see if we can get you matched up. Let's see if we get you matched up. Who here can get pressure on the quarterback? And at some point you kind of have to, because we did the numbers on my show.
We rank
we rank last in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, but our defensive numbers. It's like if you were what we were in 2016, and that would have been 2.3 sacks.
Yep.
Then you kind of could look at this defense and go, well, you know what? We could probably make it to the playoffs because that was our Super Bowl year. So,
and even with Jimmy, you got to think about this too, y'all. Like, all right, so we last in sacks. We like 31st in pressure, like 29th or 30th in QB hits. It's somewhere in that area. Either way it goes, it's bad. That's basically what I'm saying. Bad.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, except for the Seahawks game, in the second half, you've been holding people to minimum. Like honestly, if the safety doesn't happen, you hold the Bucs to 7 points in the second half when they dropped what was it? 17 in the first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, look at that, and then you also look at the fact that we rank 9th in interceptions right now with 7.
Yeah.
So you look at those things, and even though we want Jimmy to switch up some things, it's going to be tough for that to really happen and really see that happen, because things are working in Jimmy's favor and for the secondary.
All right, let me throw this number at you. All right. 19th in total defense, 348 yards a game.
Right.
30th in team opponents' third down conversion with 46.7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 47%. Let's just say it. They're tied for 28th in team opposition scoring, which is about 15 per first half. And then this is where you were talking about they're 9th in team in the second half, and that they only give up about 10 points at that point.
What's their third down percentage? That's one thing we need to key on.
46.7%.
I was about to say, I can probably already tell you it's about 46 or 47, because we give up a lot of completion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we keep a lot of things in front of us, similar to like a defense that so we've seen before. We've seen Dan Quinn before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he kept everything in front of him, but it still eventually got back to us. Anyway, it go moving forward and staying in the present day. It's just like at the end of the day, like, guys, we seeing what's going on, but it's working to a degree, to the point to where, like, we're not terrible. We're still winning games. We're in every game except for the Seahawks game. So like the Seahawks game was like where we just completely just came out as a team flat, and I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but we came out as a flat as a team. I don't see us really making a lot of dramatic changes, with the defense when it's still like having things working. Do I want to make changes? Of course. I want to make drastic changes. I want to get the quarterback on the ground, because they walk away with clean jerseys, and I feel like, you're going to have to eventually get the quarterback on the ground to be a real contender.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Jimmy really believes in the process of the defense, and I believe he's telling Raheem it's on the way. It's on the way. And Raheem, like, all right, my boy, I believe in you. And he's coming out in these conferences saying it's on the way.
hey, a little birdie told me there's going to be a trial about Jimmy Lake. So I'm just telling you. So,
Uh-oh.
a 6'4" birdie told me.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So C-Dub's doing a little foreshadowing. Guys, everyone in the chat, this is being broadcast on For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Again, that is For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. And the reason I bring it up is because this Friday or tomorrow at 7 p.m., during our show, we will have the trial of Jimmy Lake. We're gonna put
People's
Jimmy
Court,
Lake
baby.
We're going to put Jimmy Lake on trial, right? We're going to have
Yeet.
prosecutors. We're going to have defense attorneys. We're going to lay out all the evidence. And we want you to vote, is Jimmy Lake guilty of being a bad defensive coordinator, or does he just have a few bad breaks? He's either guilty or innocent. And again, in this country, we're all presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, he already got tampering charges, so he already done lost.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so he already don't lost. Right.
I like Smitty. We need Smitty on the field on this one.
Again. You know, and some of the
I don't think you want that C-Dub, because they'll hold me in contempt as soon as I walk through the door.
Hey, Smitty, I got you, and I got the lawyer to help you. Don't worry.
You got
I got everything. I'll make sure Smitty's taken care of because he's $13K.
Okay.
You got bond money too, I hope. You got bond money too, I hope.
Don't worry, we got Ladarius. He's going to take care of it all.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So no, in all seriousness, guys, the trade deadline is upon us. The trade winds are blowing. Do you guys think our beloved Atlanta Falcons will go out and make a move? The deadline is November the 4th or November the 5th, guys?
November the 5th. November the 5th.
So
a couple of days.
6 days away.
Yeah.
All
Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Trade deadline.
Yep, next Wednesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think it's next Wednesday. I think you're right. So, again, this is being broadcast on For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do you guys think, and Smitty, we'll start with you, do you think the Falcons make a move, or do you think we stand pat and go with what we have? Give me your thoughts, Smitty.
I think we make a move, but it's not going to be for a guy that we want. I think it's going to be for a depth piece. I think at this point you have to think about making a move because, as I've said, you got guys on the bench that are not even getting an opportunity. And if they're not getting an opportunity, you got to bring in somebody that you're going to give an opportunity. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby. Yeah, we like that. But just come in and touch the bitch. That's all I got to say.
Oh,
that's the greatest line ever.
Touch that.
Oh.
Just touch the bitch.
I'm just saying. Tell me why I'm lying. All they gotta do is come in and play flag football because we're not touching the quarterback. Pause. But look, at some point, you're gonna have to put your foot down with this coaching staff. And I commend Arthur Blank because we talked about him getting in the way over the last 10 years about trying to put his footprint on his team. He's letting the GM do his job. He's letting the coach do their job. And we winning football games, but it's still certain parts of the game that's going to catch up with us sooner or later. So look, either you wait till it bite us or you try to prevent it. Go get somebody that can put on the other side of Judon, do what you need to do, and make this defense better because it's going to have to be soon. Because the teams coming up on this schedule, a lot of these teams love to throw the football. Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, believe it or not. So just think about that.
Bo Nix as well. He's a guy with a
Bo's gonna throw that thing.
Shoot, the Cowboys on Sunday, they like to throw the ball.
Even Daniel Jones can throw the football. Just think about that.
Yeah, he just likes to throw it to the other team, though. That's the good thing.
We probably wouldn't touch it.
So, Chris, how are you feeling about this trade, man? You think we make a move? You think we stand pat? Give me your thoughts.
Shoot, man, to be honest with you, in life, the warning always comes before, the consequence. And I believe our warning was the Seahawks game.
Yep.
I really do believe that our warning was the Seahawks game. Even though we came in a little unprepared, maybe overlooked the Seahawks a little bit, it still was a glaring issue that we could not get Geno on the ground like that.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get Andy on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a foreshadowing there before, what happened. But regardless, you get your warnings. And it's up to you to take heed to them. And I'm not saying that the Falcons are not taking heed. I believe the Falcons are on the phone. They just have other teams they have to compete with when they're talking about trying to get pass rushers, because there's other teams that want pass rushers as well. And of course, you're going to go when you have the asset, you're going to go with the best deal. So to Smitty's point, it may be a depth piece. I hope he's wrong on that. I'm hoping that it's going to be either Zadarius Smith or Delare from the Giants. I'm not I'm not I'm not out on the Harold Landry. If we get Harold Landry, okay, but I mean him and D'Angelo Malone are kind of like similar in stature. I just know Landry's a little heavier, I believe, but they're already similar in stature, and Landry is the more veteran player who is known to to get after the quarterback. But Zadarius Smith, I believe he wins one-on-ones, and he can also cover out there in the flat. Ojulari, he's young. He can get after the quarterback, into the rotation, into the depth, and get after the quarterback. I would go after one of those two guys. Hopefully, we land one of those two guys so we can create that pinch at the quarterback. We can have that meeting at the quarterback, and instead of him escaping, we got somebody that can hold him in there and get him on the ground, or just cause corruption, or disruption, so somebody else can get to the quarterback. It's just regardless, we got to start getting these guys on the ground. At least, more than just once a game. If you can start getting 2 and 3 sacks a game, now we're starting to do some things. Like now you're starting to become a complete defense. So I think we do need to make some moves. Your warnings have already happened.
Yeah.
C-Dub?
Tuesday, November 5th is the trade deadline, and I will tell you this. I have two answers. One, I feel like we won't do anything and try to spit in people's faces and say it's raining. But my thing is, I'm at the point we got to do something to at least help this team. And look, it could be a D tackle. It could be, a pass rusher. We need something that's going to help get us where we can actually perform optimal. Because right now, letting them pick us apart, look, we might get to the playoffs and people are like, oh, it's going to fall. Oh, hey, Smitty, April's got $2 in food stamps to get you out of jail. So I think y'all work too.
Food stamp don't work in
I
jail.
don't think they're gonna be enough. I ain't gonna lie.
Look, if you know how to coupon, you can make that thing stretch a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying now. All right, so yeah,
Not for time money.
yeah. Tip. I'm just saying. All right, so so look, it's like this. I think Harold Landry would be a good person to get. I like this is a Harriet Smith. Yeah, and it's like this. Just get me somebody that can help either a D tackle or edge rusher, because we're not asking for a lot. We're not saying we need the big sack guy. Now, of course, if there's available and you can get him, go get him. You'd be stupid not to go after it. But at this point, we just want to see. It's like this. Show me that you really see that this team is going to make noise in the playoffs. And if you show it, I think the fans will even be more behind you.
I agree with that 100%.
Yep. What you got, T? What you think?
Man, I don't know. I'm kind of because I feel like if you were gonna make a move, typically Terry's aggressive, and I've seen him be aggressive. I've seen him wait to the last minute, but more times than not, he's been aggressive. I feel like if you were gonna make a move, you'd have already done it. Yeah. I think it's a real possibility the Falcons stand pat and do nothing, which would be disappointing. But and then you don't know the salary implications. You can't go and get a Myles Garrett right now. Well, From what I'm told, he's not available, but I don't know if you could get a Myles Garrett. I don't know if you could get a
Everybody available at the right price.
I'm telling you.
Always remember that.
Yep.
yeah,
And then
but
not just that. Well, not just that. That's why we were looking at other
you,
guys.
you offer Cleveland 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. They're taking that, okay?
okay. Well then,
I mean, I'm not saying we're going to do that, and I'm not advocating for us to do that. I'm saying I'm just saying, like, if somebody like Smitty just said, right price. Somebody say, hey man, you can have all our draft picks in next year and the first in the next one for Myles Garrett right now. You think Cleveland's not going to take that? They can rebuild their whole team.
I think they would, but my what I'm saying is, can we fit his salary under our cap?
They can restructure again.
They're going to have to restructure, and they're going to have to trim some fat too. They're going to have to trim some fat.
Yeah, they have to get rid of who's left to restructure.
Look, first of all, you're cutting. You go, Zoe Carter. Come here, boy. Come here. I said, come here. Goodbye. Here's his bags.
They only lose $1 million if they cut him. So
all right.
that ain't nothing.
There you go. Come here, Richie Grant. Now get the heck out the door. Don't let the door split you on the way the good Lord split you. Yeah? All right. Now you come here. Come here.
The only reason they don't cut him, Michael Abernathy went out with an injury, so he's safe.
All right, you gotta stay. You guy that can't guard a cold snail. Let me see. You come over here. You.
Snail.
Cold smell.
Wow.
Look, I'll take Orjiz Alari if he's available from the Giants. I'll take him. Like I said, there's people out there. All you have to do is call and find out what's it going to take. And if you can work it, you work it and you go for it, because all you're doing is just giving your fan base just a little hope. We're not asking for the big, shiny toys. We're asking for the dollar. All right, Smitty, we know you are. You're asking for the high price toys. I'm like the kid that goes, look, Daddy, it's $5. Just give me the $5 toy. You got that for the adult magazine that you bought that Mama doesn't want you looking at. So come on, hook me up.
See, you were one of those kind of kids. I got you now.
Look, now I never brought that up to my father because I kind of had a little respect for the man. I felt for him, but I was just there were times I would just look and go, I could ask for money, but I really didn't like asking because he worked 3 jobs. So I was like, you're doing enough. I'll let you be. My brother was more that guy.
Beat up a trip, boy.
And that's life. The seed double life.
Okay. Wow.
I know.
Right. So Falcons play.
I wish you had that buzzer now. The Wild. Where's Jack when you need to say? Where you at?
Yeah. So, I'll tell you what. We got the Cowboys coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Thursday evening at 6:30. Smitty, give me what you think the Cowboys will try and do to us on defense. So their offense against our defense. What do you think they're going to try and do? And also give me what you think we're going to try and do against them, and maybe a prediction.
They're probably going to try to play a lot of cover too. Knowing they got the Cole Pitts, Mooney, and Drake London, you'll see it's safe to try to help them over the top. But the way I've said that, I think the Falcons will try to run the football. And as I've said in my 3 keys to victory, I think running the football is going to be the key to this game on either team, because the Falcons can't stop the run. Cowboys can't run, so some got to give. Falcons can run. Cowboys can't stop nobody running. So somebody's going to win in the trenches. Yeah. And maybe that's where it starts, in the trenches. And I think the Falcons with Robinson and Algier, I think they're going to control the clock, run the football, and that's how they're going to win this game.
Yeah, they came out against the 49ers in a 6-down lineman set, and it seemed to work in the beginning. Now, I was kind of halfway watching the game and halfway working, so obviously it didn't work the entire game because 49ers won, but it looked to be maybe the first 3, 4, 5 series, it worked. Do you think they will try and employ that against us in regards to a 6-man front, or what are your thoughts on that?
I could definitely see that, but again, the way Kirk Cousins been playing since week 1, let's just keep it right there. The way he's been playing since week 1, he's playing at an all pro level. And like I said, that Minnesota game probably going to catapult him into the MVP conversation. But no matter what they throw, he's going to take a 3 to 5 step drop, get the ball out quick as he can. Or if they're running the ball successful, like I said, play action opens up, and they're not going to stop that with the injuries that they have. No Michael Parsons. Lawrence is hurt, I think. So their two top edge rushers are hurt. So I mean, they screw either way. It's just for us not to fall for the, but not in the tailpipe, just like the Seattle game. That's what we got to avoid.
All right.
Hey, got a golden opportunity right here, y'all. This is
Mm-hmm.
you don't get a lot of opportunities in the NFL, but the Falcons are fortunate to have two opportunities close by each other. Like Seahawks was the first opportunity, and you failed at that one. So now I feel like this is another opportunity to get back right. You know, the Cowboys, if you look closely at that 49er game, it was a few bonehead mistakes from the Cowboys, and they
Right.
actually really could have won that game.
Yeah.
You know, could have came back and won that game. So with that being said, with no run game, it's just like, okay, Falcons, you got to take care of business here. Like you got to make sure you limited them, even if they're catching. Continue to tackle to limit that yak because you don't want. One thing about CD Lamb, once he gets the ball in his hands, he can do magical things with the ball. So you definitely got to get him down.
Right.
I believe that, like Smitty was saying, they don't run the ball. Continue to not allow them to run the ball. I believe if you let the Cowboys start getting off big runs, like if they're running and they're averaging 4 yards per carry, that's a bad omen for the Falcons because that means you're having a team that doesn't even run the ball. Like I don't even think they have a rush that's over 20 yards this year. So it's just like if you allow something like that 15, 20 yard play off on the run in the run game, you have terrible problems. And honestly, that's going to set up the Cowboys, a team that likes to pass the ball anyway. That's going to set them up terribly. So you got to take care of the run game. You got to be able to stop them, make them one dimensional, so you can be able to hone in on Dak and those mistakes. On the offensive side, control the time of possession, something that you don't do often. I like the quick strikes, but in this game, I wouldn't mind keeping Dak and CD and them on the sideline, which can be another line of defense for you and keep your defense fresh. Run the
Right.
ball. They can't stop the run. Run the ball, and as soon as they start trying to commit to the run even more, that's when you just hit them with Kyle Pitts, hit them with Drake London. You possibly can even sneak Ray McLeod out there because you know they're gonna see Darnell Mooney as well. So we have
Right.
weapons, man. We have the ability to dictate in the offensive line, even with injuries, even with guys rotating in and out, and getting hurt. This offensive line has held up well. And it's going to be key again to hold up well so Kirk Cousins can deliver the ball. 72% of his passes, the man is completing. I'm saying he's hitting guys for touchdowns. He only has one interception, when he's kept upright. All the rest of his 6 interceptions are when he's being pressured and when they're getting after him. Kind of like in the Seahawks game, he started airmailing some things.
Right.
Keep him upright, keep him safe. We're gonna be fine. We should be able to torch the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
B-Dub, how you feel about it?
All right. Here's the thing. Do not take these guys lightly. Please, God, don't. Treat them with respect, even though it's the Cowboys, even though their fans are loud, even though homeboy kicked door or his his Uber's food over in the yard. I need the Falcon players to be focused on this game. All right. We are, enjoying the memes and all that, but I think Cowboys defense, they are going to have to try to shut down the pass and try to stop the run. But my thing is that's where they play into our hands, and we should start running the football from the beginning to the end. And it needs to be a steady diet of Bijan and Algier. All right. This is the game where you want both of them to be highlighted. Let Kurt be cerebral. Let him pass it to the guys when called upon. Third down, stay on that field. That we got to keep going better with that. If we could get third down and we're better off that, awesome. All right. Now we go into what the Cowboys, they're going to throw it. Especially, look, they've had a couple of games felt like blowouts, but they've always tried to come back in that second half. So this is where it comes into what Terry likes to bring up is that, how we lock down second half with adjustments and whatnot. This game, we can't let the Cowboys have any hope. Where the Cowboys will throw, we gotta stay focused all 60 minutes. You give me a 60-minute focus game, and I say we win 38 to. I'll even say 20. All right, I'll give them a touchdown here and a fluke thing here, and then a couple of field goals. But I think we should win this game. We have the team, and not just that. This is another test. Like Chris said, you failed with Seattle. And not just that. Here's the thing. If you lose to the Cowboys, it's like this. You lose to the Cowboys, you're going to be made fun of. If you beat the Cowboys, you're probably not going to get any recognition. But if anything, people are going to laugh at the Cowboys. So, but I say hit them hard, run the football, get some sacks on Dak. That would be great. Force him to throw the ball to the other guys and let Mr. Bates pick him off. And Justice Simmons.
Sure, you'll still get recognition because you'll be 6-3. I know that for one thing. And honestly,
yeah, you know what I'm saying though. Because see, here's the thing, and here's something else to think about. We beat the Cowboys, then we go against the Saint. I was about to call them the Skanks. The Aints. We're about to play the Aints, and if we win that game, we're 5-0 in the division. We're locked in, guys. Mm-hmm. So that's why these two games I think are very important, and I apologize for the wording.
No. I'm saying no. You're right because I was talking to Smitty and the guys in the chat, and I'm just like, man, these games are very important because you beat the Cowboys. First of all, you've already beat the Eagles, so that's another division that you're sweeping. So far, you know what I'm saying. So you will have 2 wins against the NFC East. And you know what I'm saying, you beat the Saints, like you just said, you'll be 5-0 in division. So overall in the conference, you only have 1 conference loss.
Yeah.
So that the implications of the next 2 weeks, starting with this week right here, is just is important. And it can set you up nice when it comes to especially if the records are close and they're tight, you can start looking at the conference record and be like, well, shoot. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons are starting to look good because they're winning conferences. They're taking care of the business in the division. They're winning games. So, yeah. So you got to start stacking wins. Stacking wins. That's what we got to start doing. Stacking wins. Kind of go on another streak.
Yep.
So it looks like Parsons will be out this Sunday, which is another break for our Atlanta Falcons. Hopefully we can take advantage of that and come away with a victory. I have one last question for the panel, and then we can do our shout outs and skedaddle. Smitty, if you could finish this sentence for me. The Atlanta Falcons will win the Super Bowl if. Go ahead.
If they stop bullshit. Just that simple. And what I mean by that is better execute on defense. Stay in a complete rhythm on offense. You see what they can do on offense when they're in rhythm. They can be one of the top teams in the NFL. But that comes along with having to have to stop somebody. You've got to find a way to get sacks. I don't care if you use the defensive backs, the linebackers, the edge rusher, the defensive tackle, anybody on that side of football. Find a creative way to get sacks because sacks can change the momentum of a game. More turnover will probably occur. It rattles the quarterback. So the earlier you rattle him, later in the game, he's going to make mistakes. So, just get it, find a way. Just as simple as that. Find a way.
Good deal. Chris, A1 forever. The Falcons win the Super Bowl if.
Oh, man. Falcons win the Super Bowl. For one, if they execute on all 3 phases of the ball, including special teams, Something that we don't really talk about often is special teams. And shout out to Bradley Pinion. I know he's been punting pretty decent lately. Putting the ball where it needs to be. Ray McLeod having pretty decent returns and everything as well. So controlling field position, controlling time of possession, getting the quarterback on the ground, getting timely turnovers. Just being a complete team and also having some luck on your side. You really can't win without having like the ball bounce your way sometimes too. And I believe that the Falcons have already experienced like things bouncing their way, including with players being out. Of course, we always want guys to be at their full strength because you don't want to hear the excuses. Oh, we didn't have this guy, we didn't have that guy. But at the end of the day, like you got to play who you play, and when they come up on the schedule, whatever they're dealing with, you got to deal with it. So again, man, those are things that have to happen. Execution, a little luck, but execution is definitely probably 1 and 2 because you got to have it on all 3 phases. Um, and I believe Kirk Cousins, of course, he if he continues to play how he's been playing and continues to get better, I believe as a team we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. I think we can do some things. We definitely got to clean up on those sacks though, and can keep getting those turnovers. Jesse Bates keep doing the peanut punch. Charles Tillman, I'm pretty sure somewhere proud. Just getting those costly turnovers, man, on the offense, on the opposing offenses, man. We got to keep doing that. Get this quarterback on the ground, and on our offensive side, not turn the ball over. I believe if we're an offense that doesn't turn the ball over, that rarely has penalties, I believe how can you really be stopped? Because you're not shooting yourself in the foot. Penalties, kill drives. If you're not killing drives, and if you're moving forward with the ball, hey, converting on 3rd down and keeping the defense on the field, you can really win. Really can win because you're helping your defense out. So yeah.
That you can. C-Dub, the Falcons will win the Super Bowl if.
I'm playing PS5 and I use them, and
Oh,
I
wow.
have my own defense that has pass rushers, and we don't F around. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. All right, I'm sorry. All right, so the Falcons will win the Super Bowl if, kind of like what Smitty says, stop messing around. All right, hit a MFer. All right, see a MFer, hit a MFer. Our defense has to keep getting better. All right, because here's the thing. Eventually, you're going to play a game where your offense is going to need you to help it. Are you going to be able to respond? And that's going to be the question because everyone's going to ask all these questions. You already know. For us to get to the Super Bowl, we got to answer the question, can Kirk succeed in the playoffs? So we got to get through that hurdle. We have to get through each and every time. So do I believe we can? Yeah, I do. But we got to get guys that are going to step up on defense. And look, it may not even be a trade. You probably, by the time Troy Anderson gets back, you look at him and go, Troy, go get the quarterback. You see what I'm saying? And you work with what you have. So that's why I say get creative, do what you need to, and also just don't be stupid on offense. Meaning, if Bijan's cooking, let him cook. If Tyler's cooking, you let him cook. And not only that, trust Kirk Cousins. If he's telling you, hey, let's run the ball, you run the ball. So I'm that's as simple as I could take it.
Okay. And last but not least, T. Will, Falcons win the Super Bowl if they trade for Myles Garrett and everybody's healthy. We win the Super Bowl. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you all for again. This has been For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Say again, For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe, as we would love to entertain you on Friday evenings, Sunday afternoon after the game, and Monday mornings. Everyone on the panel, please let these folks know where they can find you. Smitty, yeah, right. They all know where they can find you, but let them know where they can find you anyway.
Yeah, they know where they can find me, man. YouTube, Smitty Sports Machine on Twitter at fatboyslim_21. Catch me on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock on the NFC South Roundtable. And you can catch me on Wednesdays with my boy A1 Forever, my boy 95 North Berto on the 95 North Sports Machine every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So yeah, we always around, man. It's Sundays, post game. About 30 minutes after the game ends, we jump on. So make sure y'all tune in Sunday at about 4:40 and we gonna have that thing rocking, man. Y'all come through with them questions, man, because we let people in the chat on Sunday. So y'all be ready to throw some hot questions at us.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chris A1, let these folks know where they can find you.
Hey man, A1 Forever Sports. You already know that's the platform on YouTube. Please come on over, like, comment, subscribe, have a sports conversation, man. There's plenty of different content on the channel, videos, clips, lives, videos, all kind of stuff, shorts. So man, just come on over and I'm pretty sure it's something you can find that you like. And what Twitter and Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Of course, you just like Smitty said, you can definitely catch us on Wednesdays. Me, Berto, Smitty, and also Kev, Bro Talk. You know what I'm saying? He also is a part of us as well. Catch us doing our thing, post game. We're gonna definitely be starting at 4:40. I'll probably may be a little late because I know I will be down at the Cowboys and Falcons game. Doing my thing down there. So I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing what the Falcons have. Last time I was in the building, we lost to the Seahawks. So I'm hoping that we get back to our winning ways this coming Sunday, up close and personal. And man, thank you to T Will. Thank you to C Dub, Smitty, of course, as always. Always great having sports conversations with you guys, and always at the chat. Salute to everybody that came through and everyone that watched and will watch this.
Amen. C Dub, let these folks know where they can find you.
C double 28. That's where you can find me. I just came out of my name. And also, you can go to C double AWTN on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I prefer Twitter because I'm old. And if you like what you see, make sure you hang around us because we'll be having some more stuff out here. Also, Tuesdays will be the Atlanta Falcon Beard Gang review where we all get together again and just chat about the Falcons. And let's hope it's over a cow. Guys, I want more than anything in this life for us to whoop up on the Cowboys. I have always been stuck working with a Cowboy fan, and it's like they're the worst kind of people. I just next to the Saints fan, and it's right there. They're right up there, 1 and 2. So, but yeah, just wanted to say that, and also thanks to T Will for having me, and thanks Smitty and A1 for being a part of it, man. Much love. I always love being with you guys.
Good deal. Well, again, to all the fans in the chat, thank you. You could be anywhere in the world. Thank you for gracing us and joining us in this very beloved Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks podcast. We love our teams. We love our fans. We love you guys. And we love doing podcasts. So everyone in the chat who joined us, a heartfelt, wholehearted thank you from all of the guests on the panel. Just want to thank you guys. Secondly, well, really, first in my heart, I want to thank God. Would not be here without him. Thank him after every podcast. Thank him for every day. Thank you, God, for giving me the ability to be here and to continue to just wake me up and provide for me and my family every day. Last but not least, I want to thank Mr. Jack Spade from One Time for the Fan, where you can reach me or see me rather on Wednesdays at 8 p.m., Fridays at 9 a.m. I am also on For My ATL Sports 1 at 7 p.m. Sundays immediately after the game. And we have a Monday morning review for all things Falcons. Again, I am T. Will. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you again to my esteemed guests. And you guys be great. Go Falcons, go Braves, go Hawks, go Dogs. See you guys when we see you. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm missing the mute button. Jesus. I'm missing the button. Oh, man. Sorry about that, C-Dub. It's just, Chris, it's just me and you. And for whatever reason, there we go. in stream.